Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Work. There you go.
Forward.
Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Work. There you go.
Forward.
Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Work. There you go.
Forward.
Hard work. Hard work. Hard work.
Fall in.
Hey, what's good? What's good? Y'all know what it is. Your favorite vets on the net checking in this morning as we getting ready to get to it. First formation. We talk about NFL tapped in, ready to go week 3. Y'all gonna hear what y'all got to hear from us. That's picks, predictions, a little insight here and there. Our personal opinions, our collected opinions, however it go. It's me, your boy. You see what it is. Y'all know me as Trey. But no Trey Davis is back. We got Bishop. We got the people's coach, Cornelius CC Cole. What's up, gentlemen? What's good? What's cracking? What's popular? What's cracking like?
First off, I need you to take that Notre Dame, whatever. Take that off.
Let you know.
Take that off. CC, you told him. You told him after 1 week how he done put himself up there at Notre Dame. No.
Yes.
You just lost yesterday, so
that part, and he still.
This guy in the middle, this guy right here,
and he's still.
Did UT win?
Yeah, UT won.
Oh yeah.
Was it convincingly?
Yeah, they scrubbed them up. Yeah,
You know what? After USC lost and the way they lost, I didn't watch sports the rest of the day. I'm
glad we played late. I'm glad we played late. I went to bed. I went to bed. I'm glad we played late. I ain't gonna lie. I'm so glad we played late, bro. I'm not even going front.
Unfortunate turn of events. Like one, it's crazy how one play it turned everything around for you. So, and then how they got into the end zone. But hey, that's what I'm saying. We good. Yeah. I think we're still good. So, what I'm saying? A little harder, but we're good because some others lost. So that helped us for real. So, gentlemen, we back. Like we said, we know last week I'm going to have to get with y'all to get y'all first week's pick so we can kind of like even that plateau. I just hope that y'all integrity on what y'all really pick. We'll get with that.
It's on the show. We did the show, so we ain't even got to worry about it.
So I go back and get y'all put me off on what y'all, and then I add that in. And then we'll kind of like so we can evil out for the year for it up to date. But week 3 tapped in. There's a lot going on. People are falling left and right. Fantasy is about to get crazy. If what's going to start happening really, but what's going on in NFL's actual players on these teams is we finna see how people get down on their fantasy, how they recover. You know what I'm saying? And that's my wheelhouse. I prepared for this moment, so I'm not really worried right now. I got a couple of people, but I'm good at what I do. But in any case, week 3, you tapped in. A lot's going on. First and foremost, before we get into those picks and stuff like that, I know bitch, how you ready this week? You got a game in a couple hours, right?
Yeah, we play. Yeah, JoJo and them play at 1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Speaking of adjusting and getting that, you implement it. You ready to go? Y'all ready to go?
Oh yeah. We locked in and locked and loaded, ready to go out here and make some things happen, man. We got to bounce back from last week.
All right, that's what's up.
We're gonna bounce back. They first lost, so it was a bit heartbreaking for them because they hadn't lost a game in 2 seasons. So that was something for them. You know what I'm saying? So, the girls it's something new to them, but that's how you teach them how to face adversity and move on, because you're not gonna always win everything. You're not gonna always do well at everything, but you try to do your best. And so
you know what? Before we get into it, that's a good point, right? As you say that, because like I told you, last week off the air, I told you that I love JoJo, but I wanted to give her that L. I wanted to be the person to make her cry.
Unfortunately, you came up short.
I wanted to be that person to make her cry. Say only because it comes from someone that it builds character, right? But
Yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah. But
you know what I'm saying? My team and my players were the ones that walked off tearful in the case for losing. And it wasn't even about losing. Like, yes, true enough, they hadn't lost all in 2 seasons, but it was just for us more so because we had lost. We was 300. Like, we lost. Actually, the only people we lost one time to the Cowboy team. Then we came back and scraped them. But our other losses, which, like I said, we was 500 on the year, the other 2 losses came to I basically ended up losing 3 times to Bishop and his Eagle squad. In which the first game lost by 1 point, second game lost by I think it was 6 or 3 or something like that. But then the last game lost by 7. But of course, the biggest game, which was a championship game. So I really don't care. You know what I'm saying, what goes on through the year. I use that as the building block to kind of like build on what we're doing. And then my expectation is to handle business when it's crunch time, in which it was a back and forth, but it's just some things you can't prepare for, or some things you can't teach, or some things you can't. It's just one of those things. And in this case, I couldn't or teach certain things to where it could have been, but it's just some things you can't prepare for, and that's the stuff in what you don't know that's about to happen when it happens. And it just wasn't there. And I couldn't stop JoJo and say that's what it was. I couldn't stop her in certain things in which she did that you can't teach for. So, you know what I'm saying? But if I had to again, maybe, or it could have just, it's a lot of things. But in case, gentlemen, it's week 3, first of business. What do y'all think about, in which we covered a little bit on Thursday, but and I think we talked about it. Cece, we're going with you first. What do you think is the up with now the inquiries on Bryce Young now that he's been benched?
You know, man, I had put up a post about Bryce Young maybe being a bust or something. And my uncle responded on that, right? But my uncle said something though. He said something that made me think a minute though. He was like, nephew, you know what I'm saying? He'll be good down there in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll be good down there in Miami. I was like, I ain't think, you know what I'm saying? I think a coach like McDaniels could probably get something out of him. When you think about it, like they put something on my mind. Like, yeah, Miami need a quarterback. They need a quarterback, a backup. They need something. Bryce Young, they might be a better fit there.
And it's crazy you say that, right? Because I feel like, in my term, like it's almost like the Justin Fields situation. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, Bryce Young is not what we thought he was going to be, blah, 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 blah. But could Bryce Young be something under another tutelage, under someone else's coaching? You know what I'm saying? Like a Miami. You know what I'm saying? Could he go to another team and show his true talent? We saw 2 other quarterbacks that came out of Carolina who's doing well right now in Baker Mayfield and Arnold.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. I don't know why I said Arnold. Sam Darnold. So he could possibly. That's why I said on you, right? He could possibly go somewhere else and be productive and take a team to a playoff or something of in that nature. What team that could be, I don't know. Miami does, now that you said it, your uncle said it. That could be a team that he could possibly go to and make some ruffle some feathers out that way. But there's some other things. But we then again, we're looking at Justin Fields, who came from Chicago, and look at what he's doing in Pittsburgh. He's not doing that well in Pittsburgh. It's almost like people say, I told you so about Justin Fields. And I was one of the main ones. I'll be first to say I thought Justin Fields just wasn't the dude. I thought Justin Fields had the talent and could do what he was able to do, but I just didn't think he could do it under Chicago's reign because of they wasn't providing any protection. As we see, Caleb Williams was going through the same thing Justin Fields was going through. So either way, it's still the same thing. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. This will be the first game Carolina comes out the pocket, not playing. But
what if I think what happens if Andy Dalton? I mean, it's unfair in a sense, right? Because Andy Dalton is he like we talked about Thursday. He's not the worst of quarterbacks when you look at it, and he's got experience. So it's not fair to sit up and say like, hey, You know what I'm saying? The builds are different. We know that he's not going to be as mobile as Bryce Young, but you know what I'm saying? Everything is different in a sense. So is it fair to say that there's going to be, if there's a difference that, hey, this is what it is, or is it just one of those things like maybe like Coach Canales is new, it's his first head coaching gig. Is it fair to say that maybe he couldn't develop them or any of that type of stuff when we talk about when it comes down to saying these quarterbacks, in which like we talk about Justin Fields and his switch and his change, but it seems like the same thing's going on in Chicago with Caleb Williams, although we're only 2 games in. We got to take into consideration I don't think Caleb Williams has adjusted to the speed of the game yet. When we talk about preseason versus regular season is a whole different aspect in which Anthony at AP says, would you trade Young to the Rams? For who? Just to put him on the squad? Like it could. I think he's going to be all right learning under, because there's not the same. They're not the same skill sets. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know. It's like there's no cookie cutter aspect when it comes down to it. Would y'all agree to that? Is like basically what it is. What it is. But you never know what you're going to do.
I think he's good. I think he's going to learn. I think he's going to learn behind Andy Dalton, because that's a good person. Because Andy Dalton, we know what Andy Dalton did out in Cincinnati before there was a Joe Burrow. We know Andy Dalton can win games. We know Andy Dalton could be a protege for Bryce Young. So I just feel like where he's at, he's still in my opinion, I still think he's in a good situation, in my personal opinion.
CC? I don't know about a good situation, because the Panthers are awful. I mean, they just awful right now. Like
team-wise, team-wise.
It's got to be one of the worst rebuilds I've ever seen, man. Like,
we calling it a rebuild?
Like, that's what this is, right? They got rid of all the pieces. They got to be rebuilding, right? Like they got rid of McCaffrey.
If you ain't got none of the players, it's rebuilding. Yeah.
When they shipped McCaffrey, I knew it was over. Like whatever y'all doing is.
You know what? I think that like in the last 10 years, that was the most surprising thing that could have happened. When I looked up and seen McCaffrey going to San Francisco, I was like, "What? You're kidding me, right?" But hey, you're saying and it has worked.
Like that's what I was saying. They sent them to San Francisco. That's how you knew that it's over. Whatever they doing, they trying to get the players they want. So it's probably gonna take them a while to be competitive in my mind, because they don't have no talent. Like Bryce Young was it. Where's the rest of the talent?
That is true. CC damn, he ain't lying. He ain't lying.
Stop talking bad on my man Adam Thielen. Like he ain't got nothing. Like he's.
But you gotta have a quarterback to throw it to. We gonna see today. Andy gonna get the ball. We gonna see today. We gonna see
all of them there. That's there.
We gonna see Andy in a part of
it. So what y'all telling me is early. It's too early. We ain't making picks, but y'all telling me y'all going with the Panthers today? Is that what I'm hearing? No,
I ain't going with the Panthers. I ain't say all that. Hold on. Hold on. We ain't got to that part yet. Hold on. Don't
I'm just saying, you're gonna see. It's definitely gonna be something to see. Like is it gonna be how effective can they be in state? It's a change of the guard in a sense. Like you got a new quarterback, a new coach, a new quarterback. They brung Andy Dalton there for a reason. That's all. I'm very sure it was one to help him out and to be able to.
What up, Rod? What up?
What's good, RJ? So it's just one of those things. So we say I can't say necessarily that.
But what do you think it does for him, though? Like, what do you think it does to Bryce Young? Like,
that's a good question.
What does it do to Bryce Young?
It's discouraging. It's definitely discouraging, and he probably feels somewhat like a failure in a way because of the fact that you was the starter since you've been drafted. So you, in some type of way, you all the fingers are pointing at you. But you, in my opinion, you also got to look at it too, just like you said, Cecil. What did you leave me with? Y'all pointing all these fingers at me, but what did you give me? What did you help me? Like you took away the number one running backs in the league. I got Adam Thielen, but my offensive line is trash. I'm already at a disadvantage because I'm probably one of the shortest quarterbacks in the league outside of probably Kyler Murray. Mm-hmm. So you come on now.
Is there a running back, right? That's where Swift went.
Yeah, Swift. Is Swift there?
I think that's where he went.
Did Swift go to Carolina?
Did he go to Chicago? You went to Chicago.
Chicago.
Nah,
That's where,
Chicago.
in Chicago.
Sanders is in Carolina, correct?
Yeah,
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders. Yes, we talking about
Okay.
Miles Sanders.
Okay, Swift is in Chicago.
Yeah,
That's
so
another one.
yeah,
But
that's just it, man. Like, what did y'all set him up? The question is, was he set up for success?
we talked about that Thursday, right?
I mean, y'all was talking about y'all was big on DJ Moore. They shipped him away. I mean, for real, they shipped the defense away. They got rid of everybody. So it's like it's got to be a rebuild. And like I said, one of the worst rebuilds I ever seen. You kept nothing to build around. You know what I'm saying? You kept nothing to help out. I mean, I understand what y'all saying about Thielen. He had decent numbers.
Well, they're stopgaps, honestly. They're just bridges. They're bridges.
But you gotta, like, help them out a little bit or something.
Yeah.
Like we saw Chicago do that a couple of years ago, right? Like a few years ago, they got rid of all the talent.
Yeah,
Roquan Smith, they got rid of, let's get rid of all the defensive players. They got rid of the whole squad. Like,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to definitely be interesting once we see it, like how Dalton does, and so. But what happens if Dalton doesn't become effective?
But this is the thing, right? They're playing against a team like the Las Vegas Raiders today.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a great game for Dalton to come in. We know the Raiders ain't what the Raiders, this is not a top-notch team in which they're playing.
It's not like them with Derek Carr a couple of years ago.
You're not playing. It's not like they're playing Kansas City. They playing Dallas or any of these teams with these great defenses. So Dalton can come in and really show what this team is capable of if he's able to, get back to the Andy Dalton in which we knew, the Cincinnati Andy Dalton. You know what I'm saying? That Andy Dalton, the redhead wonder. But we're gonna see. But this is a perfect time to see against the Las Vegas Raiders. So only time will tell.
So of course, like you said, we got picks coming on later on. What's
the
going
Raiders
on? Eric was speculating. I see Minnesota 2-0. We owe y'all. But you know what? Like I said, I appreciate it, Eric. I'll take that loss.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. Minnesota finna take an L today too. Don't worry.
Whoa.
What?
Who Minnesota playing today? Oh,
Houston.
I know. The Texans, right?
Yeah. Minnesota finna take that L today. Don't worry.
Jordan said he's gonna pull a Willie Beeman. So Packers
he better easy win. Really? You think so? Oh, you really think Eric Small think the Vikings gonna get an easy win versus the Houston Texans? Yeah, okay. Make sure you come on here next week now. Don't go ghost on us. Don't get ghost. Don't get ghost. Eagles might take a L. Hey.
I was thinking that same thing too.
Hey. Just because y'all did it, don't mean it's gonna happen to us, dog. Hold on.
I'm just saying, man, the way the Saints look and the way the Eagles gave up a game-winning touchdown drive. I was like,
back home too.
We did. We don't care where they at. We was at home when we lost this weekend. Your point?
I'm saying this is different.
Any given Sunday, baby. And no, it ain't. Any given Sunday. This ain't.
Home is different.
This ain't Hurricane Katrina year. That's not
what it is. The Saints looking good so far with that. With the new look offense that they got though, man. Like I saw, going back, seeing the game and watching, man.
And what we just talked about. See, down Derek Carr left the Raiders, came over to New Orleans. We just talked about it, right? Derek Carr couldn't do nothing. Man, he had weapons. Excuse me. He had weapons over in when they was Los Angeles Raiders. He had weapons. Still couldn't get it done. Now you're over in New Orleans. See? Same thing could happen for Bryce Young. It may be just you just need a new team. Now, not having AJ Brown is not hurting us, really. It's not. It's our defense, bro. Our defense got to play better.
That's a lot of teams this week.
Our defense got to play better. Only thing AJ Brown did was make old boy go off for us. What's his name? Devontae Smith. Help Devontae Smith go off because I think Devontae had like
Kobe, right? Kobe's the second is the
Kobe. Yeah. So it just helped. It just helped in that aspect.
So I was looking at a couple of people I know that are Eagles fans.
He is different. He is different.
It's supposed to
I
be.
think it's the offensive coordinator and stuff.
It is. I agree.
You know, he got a Kubiak now, dude. I didn't know that. Like, he got a Kubiak.
Greg Kubiak. Yeah, he got a Kubiak. Yeah. Yeah. So
You know
that's the thing, man. Like, I think it's all about the who's in charge. Just like I've been saying about Nick Saban. He's not that dude for us. He's not. And I pray, like, when it's all said and done, the time Nick Sirianni, I said Sirianni. That's what I meant. I said Nick Saban. Nick Sirianni. He's not that dude for us. He's not. He is not, bro. Just like I said about yesterday, and I've been saying it last season. I said this about Nick Sirianni. I've been saying this about Brett Venables. These coaches are not the coaches for these teams, bro. Like, Brett Venables is a defensive coach. But in my opinion, you have to be, as a head coach, you have to be both offensive and defensively minded. Whether you strong on one or the other is cool, but you still gotta have the capability to be able to do both. And both team coaches in particular are examples of they can't do it. Sirianni, he's the offense, but he can't do nothing defensively. And everybody, well, he's not the defense coordinator. Yeah, but you're the head coach, so you control everything.
Right.
Everything.
That's the way I feel about Pittsburgh's offense, man. That I feel like Tomlin don't focus in that area enough to, you know, like they always have good receivers for some reason. They go somewhere else, they real good. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Pittsburgh, I feel like they don't take stock enough in quarterbacks since Ben Roethlisberger has left. You know, Pickett, that was a good try, but man, after the third, fourth game, you saw he wasn't gonna make it. It's time for something different. You know what I mean? Right. And they struggling on offense again this year after getting rid of offensive coordinator last year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
to answer Eric's real quick question.
It's funny what CC was just saying because Deontay Johnson is in Carolina as well.
Oh, okay.
He was just talking about wide receivers. Deontay Johnson is there as well.
Stop it, Leslie. Stop it.
The Bucks going to the Super Bowl. Hey,
I love Baker.
That's a lot to put on Baker.
Yeah, I love Baker Mayfield, bro, but I don't see that quite yet. But and who they got today? They got Denver, so they might go 3-0. They might go.
Yeah, 3-0. I do see them in the playoffs though. They looking pretty good.
But they was there last year. Yeah, they was there last year. They knocked us out the playoffs last year. Eric Small, just to answer your question, so y'all believe the Panthers quarterback will be good on another team? That's yet to be determined. We about to see what Andy Dalton is going to do with behind the center of the Carolina Panthers. That's yet to be determined. Just like I said about Justin Fields. Justin Fields went over to Pittsburgh. He hasn't really proven himself. You know, he hasn't proven himself over in Pittsburgh. However, neither has Caleb Williams as the first round pick in Chicago.
That's true.
Which I said.
3 games in the season. Like we ain't even been. We not even in the quarter of the season, end of the season yet. So.
But still though, I mean, you still ain't seen nothing from them.
Nah.
I mean, they got to win, but you still ain't seen nothing from Caleb Williams as being Caleb Williams that everybody thought he was gonna do. Appreciate you, Eric. Appreciate you. So we gonna see it. It's yet to be determined.
So one thing I was about to ask y'all, right, going back to the whole Bryce, because I think that's the bigger the thing. Like, what would be y'all's mindset if you were in the situation? Like, one draft pick, like you can lie to everybody, but you can't lie to yourself. If you can lie to yourself and convince yourself of these lies, then you are a different type of person. What would be y'all's mindset in this fact? Would you feel that, okay, this is best for me? Like, what 100%, if you were to place yourselves in this with y'all mindset, where would you be at with this situation if you were Bryce Young?
As Bryce Young himself?
Yeah, as Bryce Young yourself. You as Bryce Young in this situation. Are you kind of like relieved of this situation, or do you like you said?
No, you're never relieved because you're looking at this gotta be this. Yeah, you gotta be. You gotta look at yourself as a bust. You're a first round pick.
Bless y'all wild this morning.
But at the same time, if you got that dog in you, you got that competitive spirit. Like, you know, if you got that competitive spirit in you, then what you gonna do then? You know, you're gonna have to get better. You know, so you got to work. Right. You have to work.
Yeah, you got to, bro. So, if it was me, and I've been playing for 2 seasons, and I've seen what my record's been. I've seen what all the critics are saying about me. I hear what all the naysayers are saying about me. I was already coming into the league because I was a smaller quarterback that I was already doubted that I wasn't going to be able to produce in some people's eyes anyway. So now, as a young quarterback, y'all got to keep this in mind. This man is under 25 years old. 26, maybe 26. I mean, he might be 26 because I think he's been in the league for 2 years. So let's say 26 years old at the most. This is a young man. That's a lot of pressure on you as a young man in the NFL. You are now considered an adult. You have this pressure in which they're putting on you, and now they didn't put you on the bench for a veteran. You know what I'm saying? It almost brings you like to what you call, who was that? I think it was who was that? Golly, what's his name? Rodney was saying it almost puts you in the mindset of Any Given Sunday and Willie Beeman and oh boy. You know what I'm saying? It puts you in that same realm. Like Willie Beeman was like, man, I could do this, man. Y'all want to go with this old quarterback, but I can get it done. But the old quarterback say, you're not reading everything right.
Right.
You all about self. Not saying this is what, you know, right, what old boy is doing. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this is what he's doing. I'm not saying he's playing the Willie Beeman role, but in regards to how the situation is, it's falling in line with that. He gave the answer the NFL expected him to give. So he's really mad though. Plus, that girl has. Yeah, see, he got a lot going on. He got a lot going on. He got a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot going on. So, but with that being said, y'all got to understand too, that's playing a huge factor on his mental. You know what I'm saying? Now I done got bitch. My girl out here dating Tyrese Maxey. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting behind a veteran.
It's not his girl. So let's get that out the way.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot.
So when I look at it, right, I honestly think like, so has there ever been a situation where y'all have gotten into where you realize this situation is bigger than me right now? I'm not ready for this moment, right? You be like, true enough, like it's like Jamie just saying, he did, or what's being said or what's being thought of is like social norms, right? The social norm is that the expectancy is that because it's you and because you feel like you should be doing stuff and you should be in a certain position, you should think you should act a certain way. But then when reality hits, what happens is, yo, I might not be ready for this. And I think for me, like we was just talking about, I was asking y'all the question. I think for me, I'll be like, maybe this is a relief. I need to sit back for a second, peep the scenery, check the scenario, and come back with, you know, saying with that, like then what Cece was saying, that dog in me, because if it's for me, it will be for. If it's for me, then it's mine. But sometimes you just, like we was talking about on Thursday, you get thrown into a situation to where, yo,
exactly. That's what I was talking about, Trey.
This is important.
But because the NFL goes into these NFL drafts, drafting these young men, 23, 24 years old, drafting them and putting them in the Lions den, because everybody's expecting this new draftee who's done great things, Heisman hopefuls, Heisman candidates, Heisman winners, to come into the NFL, and it translate over from college to NFL. You're putting a lot of pressure on them. So who's at fault for that? Is it the quarterback's fault, or is it the management's fault?
I think go ahead. We was discussing Thursday. It's a combination, man. It depends on the situation, right? Like Bryce Young was put into a bad situation because, like I said, they started shipping all the talent. Like they shipped all the talent away
just to get him, though. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They shipped all the talent away.
Right.
So when you deplete your team of talent, what are you going? What? That's too much pressure. You know what I mean? Like they should have thought about maybe sitting him earlier. You know what I mean? Like, because now he done played a season. He going into his second season. It can't be good for morale. It can't be good. It can't even be good. I think it's gonna help the team out, but in the beginning, it can't even be a good look for the team, right? Because it's like, yo, if they do him like that, how they gonna do me? You know,
right?
The team effects sometimes. You know,
what we know for a fact is they ain't stop making talent when they start trading away the talent, right? So they expect is to build the people up around them, and it's going to take a little bit. But one of the things which I look at, right, and which what Bishop just said, brought up the conversation about Heisman Trophy winners and all Americans in college and stuff like that. I look at it as, you know what I'm saying, we all service members, or we've been service members, we went through that. At the point you be that high speed specialist, right? Or whatever, I don't know what the specialist is in the Navy, but you be that high speed specialist, right? And then once you get that's what gets you promoted next level. But then it's a reset. Now you go from being a high speed specialist to where now what you was doing as a high speed specialist is probably a mediocre sergeant or something like that. And so now you have to rebuild, you have to build up to that, to where now, okay, you're on the next level. Enlisted, a lower enlisted, which is in the Army, of course, is E1 through E4, sometimes corporal, which is an interesting rank. E1 through E4, you reset once you get promoted, you reset, and now E5 through E7, and then maybe even E6, E5 through E6 to reset, E7 on up to master sergeant, and then so on. So there's reset. There's different levels. There's levels to it, and because Caleb, Jaden Daniels, Bryce Young, or whomever, all the people who have won Heisman's, that's just means they were greatly exceptional as a college player. When they won, championships in high school, they was great as high school players. Think about how many players that was not great at high school players are killing it now in the NFL. So it just continues to be on, all that continues to be, but it is levels to it. And the expectation is that's their resume. That's what gets them in the door into the to get the job in the NFL. But then when you ask what it's like when you lied on your resume, and this is where you at now, and these is where they're at now. So it's definitely it's going to be a curve without a doubt.
You had to pick up you talked about the playbook, the X's and O's and stuff. Remember on Thursday and stuff, but you also got to pick up the speed of the game, and you also have to pick up the reads and stuff quicker, right? You have to know one thing about the NFL game is the defensive scheme sometimes are complex, and then the lateral movement, and also you got to build up your stamina. Like a lot of these guys don't come in the right size. You got to put something on. You got to bulk up a little bit to be able to take hits.
Completely different. You got linemen running down that's faster than running backs. It's a different game now.
Right. It's a total different arena when it's all said and done, man. When you go to, from high school football to college football to NFL, it's levels.
Even flag to tackle.
It's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? It's levels to it. You may have been an all-star standout high school player. In college, you may not be that.
Right. Because they all are, right? Because people
you got switch. They all over. As your mama used to tell you, you think you bad, but there's always somebody better than you.
Everyone's a gangster to a real gangster walk in the room. I live by that. Everyone's a gangster to a real gangster walk in the room.
That's right. So done. You gotta learn. You gotta know.
Here's the reason why you see what happened with Scott Frost. He was a All-American quarterback at Nebraska. He gets to the league, he's a corner. It's a completely different.
And that's another thing. What you played in high school may not be what you play when
you got to get in where you fit in, right?
Get in where you fit. Right now, you're just trying to get a contract signed. You don't care where you play. You may be on special teams. Right now, you just trying to get your foot in the door. Once you get your foot in the door, then you can work everything as, hey, coach, I did play a little QB when I was in college and whatever. And you will hear it all the time. Tight ends being quarterbacks.
Y'all had one, Bradley Smith, right? Bradley Smith was a standout in Missouri as a quarterback. He gets to the league. He's in Philly as a receiver and killing it. Michael Pryor, another bust. We don't talk about him much, but Pryor, what happened? He was a quarterback at Ohio State, at the Ohio State. Right. He gets into the league. He has to convert from being a quarterback to a tight end, in which that 1 year he was exceptional, and then of course falls off. So it's definitely one of those things where
don't do that.
It's definitely one of those things where
I wasn't going to say. I said the USC thing, but yeah, Oklahoma, man. Tennessee offense looks really good right now.
To put up 25 points in 4 quarters,
their offense look really, really good. It's like,
I mean, I give them. We look like trash. I ain't gonna lie. We kept 5 turnovers,
but it's the
like
first
every
game
time we turn. First time we stopped them, the few times we stopped them and made them turn the ball over, we turned the ball right back over. We did that 3 times. I'm like, come on, bro. We can't win no game like that. But anywho.
So what's up with Green Bay? Malik Willis win, which we talked about. I think we talked about a little on Thursday, which I think they're going to go with Malik Willis anyway. But what happens if Malik Willis continues to win in Green Bay? Do you bring back Jordan Love? Jordan Love 30?
Malik Willis threw 10 passes last week. He didn't throw the ball much.
Yeah.
He didn't even throw.
Got
And
the
he-
dub. What
No, what you will not do.
That's what it's
Trey.
all about.
No,
Remember,
no,
No, dude. Come on,
No.
Jordan Love is the guy, man. Stop it.
no.
Malik Willis-
Yeah, thank you, CC.
What-
No,
but-
no.
So why not?
You always on
If
that-
Malik
that
Willis is
beat-
winning, why is it that Jordan Love gets reinstated if Malik Willis is winning?
Because we want that
Not to
playoff
mention that-
form. We trying to play for something bigger. So we need our guy in there to get familiar with this offense, this team this year, how we doing things, so we can continue to win. They trying to win. Hey, LaFleur trying to win a Super Bowl, believe it or not.
But it looked like LaFleur might be unlocking what Malik Willis, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to take into consideration Malik Willis was from a small college. He's almost in that same grade as what of Mac was when he came from Buffalo. But he was able to get drafted. No different than Jordan Love, same process. He coming from Utah State. So now when you look at it, if LaFleur is that quarterback whisperer for them and putting them in position, and he can do the same thing with Love, where do you do you like I see what Eric said, and I always say that it's a business, so you're probably gonna go with the business aspect of it, the business end, because Malik is basically transfer.
Man, Malik, stop. I would say he was not good in Tennessee, man. He was not good. He had chances to have that job. Remember, Malik Willis could have had that job in Tennessee if he wanted it. He could not seal the deal, man.
He could,
Like,
yeah. Well, another one in this in-state. I'm wondering why they even let go Tannehill. Well, I guess I know why they let go Tannehill, but still, it's like at this point, no one could sit up and secure that. They went and drafted Levis. Why? I don't know. But they did.
Because he's the thing of the future. He's the thing
You
of the
got to
future.
think about the future. Yeah,
you know.
the future is you got.
But they had just drafted Malik Willis the year before. Like,
But
it's,
Malik Willis,
They saw what Malik Willis could do. Nothing.
right? If you ain't, if in 1 or 2 seasons, if you not like it, just like what Pittsburgh did, you went and got Russell, but then you go
that
and
was a smart move though.
but you went and got Russell, and you gonna go get Justin Fields. Like you didn't need you don't think you needed to address anything else. You needed.
So what's
got
your
Russell
mindset on why they did that? I know we didn't get to talk about that.
What CC just said, future. If one of these two don't work out, for one, we know Russell ain't got but maybe 1 or 2 more seasons. We know that,
Right?
Sure. 1 or 2 more seasons. So if Justin don't work, if Wilson only has 1 or 2 more seasons. If Wilson doesn't work out, we do got Justin. Who's young, prototype quarterback, 6'3", 6'4", 200 some pounds, prototypical. If he works out, perfect. If he doesn't, guess what? He's trade value still.
Right.
He's young.
And we didn't pay that much to get him. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't pay that much to get him.
He's young. So he's still trade value.
True that. I believe the same thing, basically. But so at this point, they have to instate Russell Wilson, do you think? Or do they sit up if Justin Fields continue? And what we're seeing, in my opinion, is there's no cookie cutter once again, because there's a few people that has a scenario going on. Like, if this happens, do we do this? So in the case of Pittsburgh, like y'all was just bringing up, what happens? Like, they only have Russell Wilson for this 1 year because they got him at $2 million because Denver has to pay the other $33 million of his contract. So they got him for $2 million. Do they give him an opportunity to sit and play to show what he was doing in Seattle prior to going to Denver? Or do you continue to let Justin Fields cook because he's the potential future? And you just keep with hopes of keeping, because right now Russ is just an emergency back.
Right now, Justin Fields ain't cooking nothing. He really ain't cooking jack.
You win it. You win it. You find ways. As usual, Pittsburgh find ways to win games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But it ain't because of Justin. It ain't because of Justin.
They find ways to win games. But one touchdown in 8 quarters just don't. You know, that ain't sexy, Trey. I'm sorry. That's just
don't get
sexy. You know? Yeah. So I wouldn't fault them if they did give Wilson a shot when he's healthy. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't fault them.
What can it hurt?
Because that's what he's brother for.
But what can it hurt? What can it hurt if you give Russell Wilson a shot? What
right? We got to put some points on the board, man. Like,
but so like you said, what if they're still winning? Like you said, they're winning. It's maybe not Justin, but they're winning. Do you remove? Yes, it's you still remove Justin and be like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and let Russ is back. We're gonna go ahead.
Let's see. Like CC said, let's see what Russell would do. Let's see, just like they about to do with Andy Dalton. Let's see what Russell will do if we put him in the game in a real NFL real game right now during the regular season. Let's see what Russell will possibly do. We haven't seen him. We've seen him during preseason, but let's see what he'll do in an actual regular season game. Put him in. Right. Worst case scenario, we can pull him out.
That's what I'm saying.
Worst case scenario, we can pull him out if he ain't doing nothing.
And you know what? We're going back to the kid next week. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
We're going back to the kid next week.
That part. So yeah, I feel like it's time. In my opinion, I think Mike should go ahead and when Russell is capable of starting, put him in. Put him in.
Because at some point you're gonna need to score some points, and you gotta, you're gonna have to score some points. You ain't gonna beat every team
that way.
Defense.
Defense ain't gonna be able to hold the line the whole year.
Right. That part. And that's big. You know what I'm saying? That's huge. You know what I'm saying? And they got the Rams today.
Right.
It might be.
They got the Rams. Who?
Chargers. I mean, they got the Chargers.
They got the Chargers. It's the Chargers.
Same thing, though. Same thing. Same thing. But Harbaugh over there, same thing. Same thing. It ain't no different look. Both of them 2-0 coming into this game today. Just saying.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting matchup with the Chargers. Like Herbert, man, what he looking like now? Third game with Harbaugh.
They got weapons over there either. Like they're trying to make their weapons just no different from it, which it's only certain teams that have weapons. The in-state when all these injuries is everyone's starting to be on the same plateau. Like
I think a coach like Harbaugh knows how to win without many weapons. You know what I mean? Okay. Like because when you saw him, he had Kaepernick. I think they went and got Anquan Bolden or something like that. But what was his name? Crabtree, who didn't turn out to be really all that like we thought he was going to be. But he didn't really have those weapons like that. But they went to the Super Bowl, so I think that I think Harbaugh can. I think certain coaches, man, they offensively, they can adapt to game situations and get the most out of all the players around them, and that's what I like about Harbaugh. Is every level he's been on, he's figured out how to get the most out of the players.
Right. You know what? Set up the thing, as I said, what will Harbaugh do with the 49ers now? But then I also think about didn't Seattle and run Harbaugh out the league? Like that's basically what happened in a sense. Like they ran him out the league, unfortunately, because we could not beat Seattle. Whatever it was, they was our Achilles heel. So across around the NFL, plenty of injuries. Joe Mixon is going to be out versus the Vikings, which is another niche. I think 49ers are fortunate that they're nicked up because Debo's out, Kittles is out, McCaffrey's out, but they're playing against a team of equal that has the same, like Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp are out. That's part of the offense where everyone's going to see what these other players come. Now, Jawan Jennings gets to start in Debo's spot. They still have Brandon Ayuk, who hasn't shown anything since coming back after the holdout. You got Jordan Mason, who has shown that he's a workhorse. You got the Whittentons and the Alexanders that's there in the Los Angeles Rams. So it's just a bevy of things where I'm very sure he's going to make these picks when we get to them shortly hard. From last week, is there anything that surprised you guys in state? Anything particular?
Arizona, man. Arizona's performance, man. Like
I don't know why that surprised you, CT.
That's surprising. Like the way, come on, man. The way they've been lately, like that was a surprise. Like a surprise. Like it wasn't even close. I was surprised. I thought it would be closer between them and the Rams like that. Like I didn't know, but that seemed like a significant gap. I know it's one game and it's early in the season, but man, that was like, hold up, Kyler Murray, man, he can be dangerous.
Yeah, he can. I hate to say it, but can that dude be dangerous?
And that's somewhat. And if I was Bryce Young, that's who I would be trying to mentor myself behind.
Really?
Because yes, but that's the statue in which you fit. You figure out what he did. Yeah. Huh?
You think Bryce Young fits? That's more his where he.
Yeah. He's the second.
Well, I see the difference between the two, but the difference between the two though is besides the instincts that Kyler Murray got
get up out of there and go.
It's he got a different gear. Like he might not be the fastest per se, but man, he can shift. Man. Yeah,
Yeah,
Kyler is still
Kyler-
and I think he's
Kyler's
all a
very
little
good.
stronger.
And Kyler, well, he's baseball. He got a baseball background. He got drafted in the major leagues initially, and then he decided to go to play NFL football. But Kyler Murray is probably one of the outside of probably Lamar Jackson is probably one of the top quarterbacks to make you miss in space. He's one of those, like, he's got that Barry Sanders type ability with the way he's able to make people miss and still get the ball and sling that joker 50, 60 yards with no problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he does. But in my opinion, if I was Bryce Young, I would be like, look, man, you know, I know both of them, both Heisman winners, both of them at the level at the college level. So I personally, that's what I would do if I was Bryce Young. They put me on the bench, even though Kyler Murray has never had to worry about that being benched like that. But I would be like, hey, bro, like, what is it? We're here pretty much at the same statue. Yeah, he might be a little faster than Kyler, may be a little faster and definitely more shiftier. But what do I need to do? You know what I'm saying? To get back on the field. What am I missing? What are my weaknesses where I'm coming up short that that I see that you're having success with, especially right now in this season, that he's staying healthy. But my question for y'all is, what did y'all think about that Monday night game or Thursday night game?
Oh,
New England,
yeah.
New York
Man,
Jets. What happened? No, Trey. What we ain't gonna let CC do?
I picked the Patriots.
New England go. Them boys go get. Boy, at the first half, I said, boy, I know CC gonna change his pick.
Yeah,
do you think it makes a difference who's behind that line? Like Brissett was on his back like
the entire time. Oh, and you see, they ended up putting on the field.
And then they bring in Drake, and he on his back too.
Yes, they couldn't even score. It was like they was in the red zone. They still couldn't score. Yeah, 3 points. They still couldn't score, bro. I was like, damn. I was like, man, y'all. CC talking about their defense going, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you.
I thought their defense was gonna come with it. The Jets defense came with it.
That part. And Rodgers, bro. Rodgers looking, hey, he running out the pocket. He getting yards, bro. He said, and he already telling everybody. He said, I ain't even comfortable yet. Once I get comfortable, it might be a problem. It might be a problem, bro. It's only New England. It's only New England. I get it. It's only New England. I get it. But I'm just saying, might be a problem.
It's the Jets. It's the Jets, but I don't think the Jets has enough to be. I don't know about scary. Yeah, that's what I don't know about scary.
I wouldn't call them scary, but they got a 3-headed monster though. They got Bryce Hall.
But
Bryce Hall in the back.
They coach is saying, like, they got a 2-score lead. He want a hug. You know what I'm saying? But then he talk about
you see Roger about
getting a 2-score. Anytime a head coach talk about I need a 2-score lead to win or whatever, man, it's like, yo, how about we go figure out a way to win no matter what? Like,
what
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, where's that mentality? I think that's gonna be the Jets' problem right there.
The coach?
Yep. I think that's gonna be their problem.
That's fair to say. That's fair. That's so fair. I don't know, man. Time will tell. I just wanted to know. I know CC was so highly on that New England Patriot defense.
Yeah, man. I thought that defense was gonna show. I thought Gerard Mayo was gonna have him ready in a short week to play ball, man. But
yeah,
they didn't come ready. Nobody on that team came ready.
I was like, yeah, I know CC won't change his pick right now. I know he won't change his pick. I know it. Yeah, but that was a good game, man. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers.
I just got to get the rest of them right. We ain't got, you know what I'm saying?
Right. You sure do. You
behind
the curve right now. You behind the curve right now.
So let's get into these picks, right? First off, like in true Bishop form, like you said, starting with the first games, the New York Giants, 0-2 Giants, facing the 1-1 Cleveland Browns. In Cleveland, gentlemen, who y'all rocking with today? Giants or Browns?
Browns. Browns. Man, it ain't gonna even be close, man. Have you seen the Giants?
Have you seen Cleveland?
Hey,
bro, they ain't that.
They're still a little bit better than the Giants.
And then Deshaun is not playing up there. Like I'm wondering when they're going to bench Deshaun. Like he next. Like
you think
for
so?
real. Yeah.
Does Deshaun have weapons? I mean, weapons has been seemingly been the hashtag word.
The contract guarantee, man. You gonna bench him? The contract guarantee.
Hold on, I got you, but he's saying Trey over here talking about he ain't got weapons. That didn't help Bryce Young because he ain't got no weapons.
Who ain't got weapons?
That's what Trey said. Trey said
they ain't got weapons in Cleveland.
That's what Trey said. I ain't say that.
Amari Cooper and Joku. Come on, man. They was cooking.
He got more than Bryce got. Know that. He got more than Bryce have. He got more than Bryce.
Way more.
I'm gonna take Cleveland. I'm gonna take the dog pound too.
No, you take Cleveland.
Yeah,
I know all that talk. You gonna go?
I know. Yeah, hey, only because just like CC, I thought about it. You know what? The Giants trash. The Giants is trash. Like they trash. They.
You know, I think the Giants might be on. I think the Giants might be on something though. I want to take a look and see and look, but I think the Giants is not going to be. I mean, I know that's y'all division. And they're probably going to be the bottom of y'all's division. Well, they might not. I don't know. But
so you're taking the Giants?
No, I'm taking the Browns.
Oh. All that talking to. Now he talking about Giants gonna be something. I think Giants did, but I'm not taking him.
No, I'm taking it. Because Singletary, man, I think Singletary might be.
The running back. Yes, I got it.
That was Singletary. Yeah, he might be. We can say Tua planning to come back. He needs to sit down. Of course, that's the rhetoric. Next up, we was talking about them earlier. Malik Willis taking the Green Bay Packers into Tennessee this week. Another one. Fox is going to be airing that. 0-2 Titans, 1-1 Packers. Malik Willis at the helm. Bishop, start off with you. Who you taking?
This is another toilet bowl game, bro. Good Lord, bro. With Jordan Love was playing, it would be real easy. But Malik, oh my God, bro.
You think Malik is going to get paid back?
Yeah, because we know he came from 10. I'm gonna have to go with Green Bay, man. I'm taking the Pack. I gotta go with the Pack.
Same here, Green Bay. Malik Willis, it don't even matter. I just don't think Tennessee has anything going for him offensively.
Yeah.
All right, next game, Chicago Bears.
What you won't do is
okay, yeah. Even though this is you can flip a coin on this one, but I think Green Bay has more weapons that are afforded to Willis that would give him more of an option. You got Dobbs, you got Wicks, you got
he tried to get his Eric. He tried to get his Eric so he can say later I picked Tennessee. Yeah, he tried to get his Eric. He tried to get his Eric.
I was like, what is take back? Like, you know, those commercials. We're gonna go ahead and put it on. We're gonna go ahead.
Titans, Eric. That's who you going with, the Titans. Okay, I see you, Eric. I see you. Eric said he's taking the Titans.
Green Bay. I'm rocking with Green Bay. So next up, Chicago Bears will be down in Indianapolis for the Colts. Colts 0-1 or 0-2, although they've been putting out a good product in a sense. But in my opinion, I'll lead off on this. I'm rocking with the Colts today. I think Anthony Richardson finally gets it done. Caleb Williams is probably going to be chased down and ran down all over. They don't.
Not the Bible word. Not the Bible words. Ran it
right.
On Sunday. Bible word.
On this
Sunday.
On this
Sunday, you'll get ran down by the Bible.
So I'm rocking with Chicago. I'm going with the Colts, gentlemen. What you got?
I'm going with the Colts. For me, man. Yes. Ran him down. I feel like I think Caleb. It's not going to be in his favor. I do think Richard. It's his time. I know he's sick right now, being 0-2. So I think it's his time. And at home, I think they're gonna get their first dub in Indianapolis. So I'm gonna take the Colts.
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts just because I think they're going to run the ball better in this game. I think they got a little bit more of a running game.
I know this next one is just Eric is here. He's for it. I'm very sure he's ready to hear it. The Texans down in Skull City, down in Minnesota. What do y'all be happening. 2-0 teams, only one can lose.
Come out.
This is like some Highlander stuff, and this
Yeah.
might be set for the Vikings. This is some Highlander type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Valhalla is in the building. Who are y'all rocking with? Texans or the Vikings? 2-0. Only one can leave victorious.
Somebody going 3-0 and somebody's going 2-1. CC, I'm gonna let you go first, bro.
Oh man, that's gonna be a tough one. But I thought about this one earlier, so I'm taking that Vikings defense at home. I saw what they did to San Fran. I'm going with the Vikings.
Hey, so the Vikings, like Trey said, this is gonna be a real good game. These quarterbacks are gonna do it, come back, do their thing. Sam Darnold out there doing his thing, and we already know what CJ Stroud is doing. But I gotta go with the red, white, and blue, man. I'm out here in Texas. I gotta go with the Texans. I'm taking the Texans to come into Minnesota and get that dub. It's gonna be close. It's not gonna be a blowout, but I'm taking Houston to skim off. Probably a field goal to win.
So what's interesting is that CC would even turn his back on his home in that case, and I'm very sure his uncle and them are going to basically scold him. You know what I'm saying? And what's interesting enough,
you don't like me, bro. I know you don't like me.
Next week we'll be at the Texans home to see Jacksonville and play against them. So which is going to be interesting in that pick, next week, which we'll have another early show for those exact reasons. But in this case, I just don't believe in Sam Darnold. I'm just going to sit up and say that, you know what I'm saying? Okay. He's not a Kirk Cousins. And I think one of the things that's beneficial to him is the fact that he had just left the San Francisco organization and was able to take in consideration what they went through last year when he was at the backup, and seeing what they talked about, what they were planning for versus Minnesota, and what they talked about and what they said was wrong after the loss to Minnesota last year. That gave them some of the edge. So with that being said, I don't know how much longer Sam Darnold is going to be able to continue on this track of being. I'm not going to say he's not going to have a good season, but I think the luck runs out today, and they take the L. So I'm going with the Texans as well.
Okay, that's our first split right there. First time we didn't all three agree. So remember that I took the Vikings.
So I'm rocking with Houston on this one. Next up, Bishop, coming to you, of course, the New Orleans Saints hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles fly into a stadium. But what the funny is, there's no, what did Eric say? Y'all should have been about Jesus.
Ain't like that.
It's all love, bro. So the Saints, right? Eagles Saints. We all know the moniker Eagles fly when it comes to the Eagles and them singing, and them chant. But that Who Dat Nation is there and ready to take. They just got a dub, ran through Carolina. Okay, was that a test? Maybe not. We said there was no way they was 40-piecing Dallas in Jerry's world.
40 piece.
41 piece. Like, hey, you take that with you. You know what I'm saying?
Take that.
Yeah, take that. But now here we are. Next up on that Reaper trip, the Saints hosting the Eagles in a dome. It's hard to get out. It's hard to fly when it's in a dome. You can fly around the top, but you can't get out. Bishop, you up first. 1-1 Eagles, 2-0 Saints. Do the Saints leave? Do the Saints send them home with 2 losses?
So y'all see that I already got that as my background. Saints, okay. Eagles. You know what I'm saying? We know what Carr is about to try and bring. We know we playing in the dome. We get that, but Eagles still can fly in the dome, man, and it can fly and it can soar. As long as we can soar, let the Eagles soar. Philadelphia's gonna get this bounce back win. Y'all know I'm taking Philadelphia. Jalen he's not looking too bad. It's our defense that's really struggling. And I think right now, Saquon, because of that drop last week, Saquon is on a mission. I think he's going to revenge that. And I'm going with the Eagles, man.
This is gonna be the battle of the running backs right here. Kamara on one side, Saquon Barkley on the other side. But with that said, I think so far right now, the Saints offense looks unstoppable. So until somebody stop it, I'm taking the Saints. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we
I don't
know
know.
y'all couldn't stop it. Yeah, we knew y'all couldn't stop. Yeah, we saw y'all couldn't stop it. So I get it.
So I'll tell y'all what, right? In which when I first came in here today, if I had picked earlier in the week, I think I would not. My pick would have been different for what I'm about to pick today. So when I look at before we came in, like we came at the top of the show, I was like, oh, I was honestly coming in with a team in mind. I was like, okay, but as I sat here, we had spoken. I realized some things. I think this game is going to favor the Saints, so I'm picking the Saints today, man. I'm going with the Saints. Which we were talking about, like Bishop was like, just like Cece was saying, like they have been doing what they have been doing. You know, someone who we're not talking about that is putting it in work, and we're not talking about, and this man has been tearing it up when it comes to 50-yard touchdowns or longer. Shaheed, that guy is tearing it up, and I watched last week as he ran through the Cowboys. Yeah, he ran through. He ran up on the corner, in which we already know if we running side by side and you ain't turned your hips yet, it's over. And then Derek Carr threw him open as he sprinted past the safety by 2 or 3 yards on the help. So he is a monster. Alvin Kamara, we see him put up 4 touchdowns last. Appreciated 44 points from me on fantasy. So now we see. So we're gonna see. But yeah, I'm going with New Orleans today, which I wasn't initially. Had you talked to me 2 days ago, it was Eagles all day. Saints, I think, get this dub. Next up, we talked about the early Los Angeles Chargers will be walking into Pittsburgh 2-0. The Chargers 2-0, another 2-0 team. In this one, I'm a big purveyor on defense. I consider myself more of a decent defense guy than an offensive guy. I think defenses win ball games, and I don't think that Harbaugh is going to have an answer for TJ Watt today. And I think Justin Fields might get a little something there. So I'm going with Pittsburgh today.
CC, go ahead.
I don't think he's gonna have to. Harbaugh's gonna have to worry about TJ because that quick release. His quarterbacks typically get rid of the ball quick under his offenses. So I'm looking at Herbert actually having a decent day. So I'm taking the Chargers.
So this is a good game. We just spoke about it. We haven't seen what Justin Fields can do. You're about to play at home. This is about to be a home game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm hoping that this is going to light a fire up into Pittsburgh, but I'm still taking the Chargers.
There we go.
I'm still taking the Chargers. I just still feel like the Chargers are going to get this dub.
Next game coming up, the Broncos, the Buccaneers. We just talked about Mayfield and how he's coming down and he's making a difference now. Interestingly enough, the top receiver is in Tampa Bay, but it's not who would have thought it would be in Mike Evans, as Chris Goddard is the number 1 receiver so far in the NFL at this point, especially when it comes down to fantasy. Broncos, Bo Nix. I know y'all gentlemen think highly of Bo Nix and think, saying maybe, they're 0-2. He's just on it. Just putting it in perspective. But I'll lead off of this one. Tampa Bay is going to be my pick for today. I don't think Broncos are going to be successful at all this year. I'm not going to say it's necessarily because of Bo Nix. I just think they're not going to be successful. Gentlemen, who y'all going with?
I'm taking Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield. Denver I get what they trying to do with Bo Nix. I understand, Sean Payton over there. He's happy he got Bo Nix over there, but I don't see Tampa Bay losing in Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield doing what he's doing out there, and Mike Evans and stuff like that. I just don't see it, so I'm taking the Bucks.
Me too. I'm going with the Buccaneers. Denver, I'm starting to lose faith in Bo Nix. It's only game 3.
So do you think? So when you look at that, right? Was it Drew Brees and his greatness, or did Sean Payton contribute to that a little bit? Like their success in New Orleans was that all Drew Brees, or was that a little bit of both of them? Like, was the wool being pulled over our eyes? In that sense,
To be honest, I never really thought Sean Payton was all that. I never really thought him and Drew Brees was all that. Like one Super Bowl in however many years together, and they saying that these people are great or something. They talking like they Washington, Montana or something. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, one Super Bowl. I thought they did a lot. Drew Brees put up good numbers in the regular season, but for me, I don't know. I think Sean Payton contributed because it was his offense, and he made the switch, right? Remember, you got to think Drew Brees lost his job and was out of there in San Diego. He was a Charger, and when they got Phillip Rivers, he was out of there. He ain't had no job, so Payton took him in, and they became something together like that. But yeah, I think mostly Brees.
okay. So next up, we'll get into the later games that are coming up. First up on that docket, the Las Vegas Raiders will be hosting in Sin City the Carolina Panthers. Kind of like thought about this, talked about this, but we wasn't too clear in reference in which CC wanted to see what was going to be the outcome of it. So first, I go to you, Bishop. First, Panthers, Raiders, 0-2 Panthers, 1-1 Raiders, hosting Raiders. Who you going with?
I'm going with the Panthers. The Carolina Panthers.
Oh wow!
I think Andy Dalton is going to come in here and show his worth, man. He's going to come in here. I think Andy Dalton, the red-headed bomber, is going to come in here and show his worth and get a win. Oh, there he go. There he go. I think he's going to get that win over Minshew and them Las Vegas Raiders. So I'm going with Dalton and the Panthers.
Ooh, man.
CC?
I hate to say it. I'm going to take the Raiders because I don't think the Panthers have. I mean, Dalton gonna play all right, but who he throwing the ball to? And he gonna have the same pressure in his face that Bryce Young had.
You know what? Bishop just brought up a good point, right? And with the point in which Bishop just brought up, it makes you think. Like I said before, I think Thielen was all right when he was in Minnesota, but of course, they end up letting him go. Brought in Addison, brought in a couple of other ones. So it's like, okay, what was Thielen really doing? He was their leading receiver last year in Carolina. But like I just said earlier, they have Deontay Johnson too, who was all right in Pittsburgh. And CC said the players tend to go other places from Pittsburgh and make a difference. But Carolina has been Carolina, and that's the thing when it comes down to it. But the Raiders, have they shown anything? Like Minshew, I thought was going to be great for them. This is like a coin flip in which y'all had made it to where
the Raiders beat the Ravens last week. They
did. They did. I am going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders this year. Just keeping on that that mindset of until you show me something else, I gotta believe that this is who you are, and that's who the Panthers have been. Although they do have a different quarterback at the helm, but we'll see here. But I think my record today is going to allow me to have one or two losses, and this might be that one. So I'm going with Las Vegas Raiders today. Next up, Miami Dolphins, 1-1. We haven't heard nothing since the debacle and since the situation with Tyreek Hill, and then them coming back and losing. Excuse me. After that, so it's been quiet on that front. The Seattle Seahawks coming in 2-0. Dolphins going to their home, going up to the Puget Sound, the Pacific Northwest. In this one, Miami. Skylar Thompson's at the quarterback.
Who they quarterback?
Skylar is at Skylar is at quarterback. I think the no-brainer on this one is going to be you got to believe in Geno. I'm going with Seattle. That's like casserole in my mouth. But Seattle, I'm rocking with Seattle on this one.
I'm going with Miami.
I was
Ooh.
like,
I'm going with Miami. I'm taking Miami.
yeah, I'm taking Seattle. I'm taking Seattle just because the quarterback situation in Miami. If Tua was playing a healthy Tua, I would be taking Miami.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, CC, Ravens and Cowboys. Cowboys 1-1, Ravens 0-2. Are you going to be sending? All right, I know where you're going. Are you going to be sending? All right. Are you going to be sending the Cowboys are going to be sending the Ravens home with another loss, 0-3 to start the season, or do they make you 0-2 in Wally's World for the year? What's your pick?
Man, it's hard to think that the Ravens gonna go 0-3, but of course I gotta stay loyal, man. Cowboy Nation. I'm riding Cowboys. We need a win too, dang it. After that beat down we took last week.
So you go with Dallas. Bishop, as he had to go off because he had to get ready for his game. As he stated that he is going to go with the Baltimore Ravens to get this one. BAL as opposed to DAL is going to be his distinction. When I look at this is one of those hard games. If I had to sit up and pick for money, I wouldn't be choosing this one. This wouldn't be one of the games in which I'll be picking. But in case to sit up and continue with it, the Baltimore Dallas game, I think I'm going to go with the home team as well in Dallas. With the situation to where if they were playing in Baltimore, I would be going with Baltimore. I think is that much of it because I don't think we're really seeing what is going to be productive. I think it's going to be a high scoring game, or at least a highlight riddle game. But I think at this point, Dallas comes out on top. You got to have, it's going to be one of those games where Lamar is probably going to be running for his life, probably getting a lot of positive yards, but he's going to be on his horse trying to get up out of there with Micah Parsons and company pursuing on the defense. Next up, of course, the Lions and Cardinals. We just talked about this. Both teams are 1-1. We was just talking about Kyler Murray and his specific skill set. The Lions are coming off a loss, but they have a two-headed monster in running backs with Gibbs and Montgomery. Even though Montgomery has been more of the prevalent back, what I will not do is sit up and continue to pick NFC West teams. Trying to make the difference. So I think Detroit has what it takes to get this one taken care of over Arizona. As Bishop was talking about, he chose Arizona, going with his the alma mater, of course, in Kyler Murray. Who you got today, CC?
I'm taking the Lions.
Lions.
I think they're gonna right their ship real quick. Yeah, it's gonna be a close game, but they're gonna win it.
So another game, of course, the Chiefs and Falcons. The Sunday night game tonight. Chiefs and Falcons. The Falcons are who I expected to be the top team in the NFC, North, in which they are. Not North, NFC East, in which they, I don't know, they still might have a little time to turn around. They do have Kirk Cousins. He did take a L. He did walk down and take out the Philadelphia Eagles, although we think that was some of the Eagles' issues. The Chiefs continue to win for whatever reason. I see Eric says he's got Detroit tonight. The Chiefs continue to win, although they're close. Although there is a record 22 games in which Patrick Mahomes has won a game has been able to win a game, although he was an interception thrown and it was a play call. 22 games, a record. That's got to say something. Is he getting the home team discount everywhere he goes? Is this stuff really happening? Pass interference is being called unnecessarily. We don't know, of course. But in any case, 2-0 Chiefs, 1-1 Falcons. Falcons, Mercedes-Benz sitting at home. Who you going with, CC? Who you got?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Hands down, the Chiefs. I think Chris Jones with the pressure up the middle is going to make a difference in that game.
So, interesting enough, Bishop went with the Atlanta Falcons. I wish he was here to give his soliloquy on why he's going with ATL today. But in any case, I think I agree with him. I think the luck runs out this week for Patrick Mahomes. He's playing in an exterior environment, so it's going to be a little bit different than being at Arrowhead. And I think Atlanta's going to be ready to go. It's going to be. I'm still waiting for Kirk Cousins to unlock Pitts. I think Pitts is like going to be their problematic kid if once they get it together. But I'm thinking Atlanta becomes 2-1 this week, and Kansas City goes to 2.
Oh no,
and
Travis Kelce has yet to arrive. So I think today,
that's true.
him and Patrick Mahomes have a good day.
Another one. You know what? I stand corrected. I forgot a game. Another 3 o'clock game. The San Francisco 49ers facing off against the Los Angeles Rams, as we talked about.
You try to just say them for last. You just snuck
No,
that
so on my thing, because I have them as my top team. They was at the top when I was going through the succession. So but the 49ers playing against the Los Angeles Rams, division rivalry, basically a situation to where both the Rams and the 49ers are struggling, right? Because they both had injuries, a lot of injuries peppered throughout that, and top tier prospects and talent that are going to be missing. So you got people coming in, but in my case, not just because they're my squad. I think San Francisco has a better situation than what the Rams has currently. I'm just hoping that they're going to be able to right that ship and put that into effect, in which San Francisco was chosen by Bishop as well. CC, are we clean sweeping, or are you going with the Rams?
Man, as hard as it is to admit this, I'm gonna take the 49ers this week because I just see the Rams struggle at wide receiver. They missing out a lot of key parts that can get them up and down the field. So I'm taking the 49ers.
Okay, so clean sweep there. Special treat for this Monday. Not one, but 2 Monday Night Football games are going to be played. Of course, those 2 is going to be the Jaguars and the Bills, the early 6:30, and then 7:15, an hour, almost 45 minutes later, we have the Commanders going to Cincinnati on a special Sunday or Monday, to where they're going to give us 2 Monday Night Football games, just an hour apart. In the first one, the Jaguars and the Bills. The Jaguars are currently 0-2. Another one of those teams that probably is like shouldn't be there, but that's where they are now. What can you say? But they're facing off against the 2-0 Buffalo Bills up in Buffalo. CC, who are you rocking with, the Jags or the Bills?
Can't take the Jags, man. Buffalo, and it won't even be close.
Ooh, you say Buffalo gonna smack them. Okay, yep. I'm taking Buffalo as well. Again, the Jaguars is not, they're out without their tight end and even in Ingram. They have a receiving core, but the receiving core hasn't been lackluster at this point. Of course, they brought in Gabe Davis over. They brought in Robinson. Is it Brian Jones? What's their the wide receiver out of LSU, the rookie? They brought him in. He hasn't been as effective as should be. I just think that the Bills and Jared Allen are going to continue. It's more so Jared Allen, if anything, in my opinion. Excuse me. And of course, Bishop took Buffalo as well. And then last but not least, for the end of the night, the Washington Commanders 1-1 facing off against another team in which we would expect this, especially with Joe Burrow being back, the Cincinnati Bengals hosting. CC, who you got, Commanders or the Bengals?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the Bengals gonna get a win here. They need one desperately, so I think this is gonna be a game they can, help them get their first win.
So this is a game as well. Bishop picks the Cincinnati Bengals to get the dub. Now, you said that they do need a win, right? And which is interesting, in which you would think that definitely they're going to put that into play. They're at home, so it should happen. So I think we have another clean sweep. I think prior to that, I was really thinking about maybe going with the Commanders. to get another dub, but playing, you got to really take some out of it when it comes to a team playing at home, especially now. It looks like the Cincinnati Bengals are, like you was just saying, desperate to get the win. Like it's starting to put them in a deeper hole to where things will start to happening. We always talk about how they haven't repaired that line that maybe cost them a Super Bowl 3 years ago. But yeah, I'm rocking with the Saints as well. I'm Cincinnati Bengals as well. They let me down at the beginning of the season. Maybe they pick it up and we be able to and they be able to pick up a win in state.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough.
So we have our picks in, of course, and a little bit there would be some that's up to sit up where if y'all want to go be interactive, continue to interact on the first formation in mind, it'll be out there where you can see it and sit up and give your take on those picks that we sit up and selected. Eric, I see you kind of like was similar to us and had some of them. So basically be able to tap in to that post where you'll be able to see who you're rocking with for this week's picks, week 3 picks. As they get closer and closer, this like we said, we do a lot of fantasy. Velez Jones is out. We do talk about fantasy and stuff a lot. In this, with all these picks, CC, how's your fantasy team looking with these teams out? Was there anyone on your squad that was that's detrimental to your ability to score points in fantasy with the inactives?
Well, he had been out, and that was AJ Brown. Like AJ Brown. So I've already been struggling since the beginning. So, but yeah, that's the biggest.
Have you had? Did you already have a good backup, or have you found a good backup to kind of like supplement that?
Oh yeah, I think my other receiver is like Justin Jefferson or something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good, right? And I also have the other guy, Addison.
So Addison, but he's out too. Heck.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like it's not, but it hasn't hurt me though. I actually won last week with people being injured. So I don't know, but this week is gonna be a struggle. I'm probably gonna, my opponent probably gonna mop the floor with me this week because I got two receivers down. It's not in the pool to pick from after certain names, man. It's horrible wide receiver wise because it's tough to see who's gonna do what. It's rough.
So with the injuries, what do you think is like a lot of hamstring injuries, right? A lot of hamstring injuries, of course, some ankle injuries, nothing too much to where only a few people have been IR. I think a couple of linemen were IR this morning to where that's going to be, I don't think there's season ending IR, but it's IR, which is going to cost them 4 games of the season. We already know Christian McCaffrey's IR 4 games of the season. Brandon Ingram's, even Ingram's out with a hamstring. Debo's, I think, is a knee or a foot injury. Kittle is out as well. Where do you think these injuries are coming? Do you think what do you think is we never know when it's going to happen. All we can do is prepare for it. But do you think some of this comes with the action or the how active they are doing preseason? Maybe too much, maybe too little. What do you think?
I think for some of them, the early injuries comes from they stepped away from doing a lot of different things. You don't practice as much as you used to build up stamina, strength, and work on your conditioning as much. And then like a lot of those hamstrings and stuff, it's just coming out of pure. You're not stretching no more. You know what I'm saying? You used to stretch. You ain't stretching and stuff enough these days. And then, of course, it's just a rough game, man. It's like it's a violent game. You're playing football. So there's going to be some injuries. You're going to take a bad hit or you might make a bad cut on the turf. So some injuries come like that. But I think overall, they clearly ain't stretching as much as they used to. You used to see them before the game. Now you see them standing around or you see the quarterback throwing passes with the headphones on. But you don't see a lot of stretching and stuff no more,
So we're going to see. You'll get to see it shortly. As is at this point, it is 11:26. So that's 30 minutes to the game. We greatly appreciate y'all tapping in this morning. Of course, y'all will see us later on. Later on throughout the course of the season. Of course, getting back into it. Our thing is basketball, football. You know what? Saying that, I want to shout out Sheho Ohtani, representing the Los Angeles Dodgers, came over and has been putting the same. The Dodgers have continued to do what they do, like be effective. Let's just hope that they're able to do that. Currently, when he's the 52 man, only person in that club. So we don't know when to be the next person. There'll be another addition to that part. Okay, pregame decisions. So of course, that's one thing. Shout out to the WNBA as they get ready to start their season.
I'm gonna say WNBA playoffs today. I'll be checking out the FIFA, and I want to see them Aces, man. I got the Aces really rocking.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, of course. But one thing, what did you think about the turnaround? What the Fever were able to do with Caitlin Clark, and maybe somewhat of the disrespect that she continues to receive in reference to the fact of she was effective and stuff like that.
What I'm starting to see is, at first I didn't understand what she was doing, but I'm starting to see her come into her own, and she learning to play. She learning to play through the rough fouls and all that stuff. You know, like some games they rough her up pretty good, but I think for them, and it was knocking her off her game early, but she started to pick it up a little bit. For me, I like her team game. Like, you know, like she played defense as best she can. She ain't really good on the defensive end. I think she got to get a little bit more lateral movement. But you know what I'm saying? Like laterally, she's not that good, but she can get some steals and like I said, the teamwork, the assists.
Homer ball for Ohtani was smart to walk away from 20. Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like I don't think. I mean, so I guess it depends. Like, I don't know in that situation what I would do either. Like, am I giving that 50-50 ball? Because it's initially
not for $250K. This man just got $700 million. Ohtani signed a contract for $700 million. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's true. So I mean, but because they're going to just take it from him anyway, put it in the hall. So, but right. But I don't know what I'm doing in that situation because in-state is going to be another ball after that because now every ball that he hits,
But you got the initial one, the original one, the 50.
Yeah, to put him in, the 50-50 ball. But at this point, it's been two more after that. You know what I'm saying? So how much does that hold? What you know what I'm saying? Now he has a 50, like he just hit a 50-second home run last night, which isn't anything huge when you look at it. It was coupled with the stolen base. So as long as he's stealing the base and keeping that, then you're saying the stealing the base is more of the issue because he has to get the home runs. He seemingly is able to crank out with no problem for the most part. But it's going to be those bases stolen, in which he has seemingly done that with no issues as well. So, but I don't know.
Stolen bases is a lot of bases, man.
Like, yeah, it is. Like, but the record is, I think the record is 60 by Ricky
Henderson. I know Ricky Henderson is up there, man. Like that's what I'm saying. He reaching Ricky Henderson territory with all those steals, man. Like that's impressive.
Yeah, like Taylor said, if he gets to 60-60, then that 50-50 is going to be irrelevant. But it's the initial what put him in the club. But how do you think they do that? If he does, let's say he does get to 60-60, has he reset a new precedent? It's like, okay, there was a 50-50, now it's a 60-60.
This is an anomaly. Like it's gonna be hard for somebody to reach that again.
The 50-50 alone, like, bro, we might not ever see another 50-50 cat again. Like,
right.
So you know what I'm saying? Because they're very sure they're gonna start to lock that down. But you know what I'm saying, or 55, he's closer probably to a 55-55 than he is a 60-60. Because if he gets to 60-60, then he's broaching on Henderson type season type stuff. A'ja Wilson, another shout out, WNBA 2024 MVP. She continues to do her thing, which puts the Sparks, like you just talked about, in a clear spot to where they could be. But the Sparks was the fifth or fourth seed. It is the fourth seed in this year's playoffs. May not hold any water really, because we just talked about that earlier. It's like, yeah, you do what you do in the regular season. That puts you in a position is what you do once you're in that position. And it now is like, it's go to win or go home. But Sparks. I wish it was the Sparks. The Aces, A'ja Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces, fourth seed, but A'ja Wilson number one when it comes to players. Unfortunately, with the addition of 3 new WNBA teams, the the Los Angeles Sparks are probably not to get their hands on Juju. That's unfortunate.
Well, they got Portland coming, what, 2025?
Yeah. So it's for the next 3 years. Portland to 20. Is both teams both new teams? I know the Valkyries coming in for 20 or coming for the 2025 year. Is the other team? I can't remember who the other team is. Do they come in for 2025 as well? For next
didn't
season?
Golden State win a bid?
Golden State, the Valkyries, which their team is the Valkyries. They're going to be new. They're going to be next on the season. So, but after that team is another team, a WNBA team that has been given grace, in which I think they're the next one. But I don't know if they're coming at the same time. And then after that, you have the Portland team that is going to be next on the slate, who is expected to come in a year after that. So that's 3 teams. There's no way in the possibility, whether it's 2 or 3 years, that unless Juju decides to stay 4 years and maybe an additional year, a 5th year, and then it takes into consideration that how the Sparks, there's no telling where they're going to be at that point.
Yeah, no. Asia Wilson and the Aces, I think they got a good chance, but Seattle been balling. I think it's going to come down to when the game gets slow. The reason why I'm going with Asia is because when the games get slow, she's an automatic bucket. She gets buckets. Like I said, and the Liberty, they play good ball, so I can see a replay of the Aces and the Liberty. But yes, America, I'm gonna admit it. I'm rooting for the upsets. I'm going with the Indiana Fever. I'm like, oh, don't let her get hot. Like, we might see something unbelievable because we know that Caitlin Clark is capable of something unbelievable. And she got a teammate to boot that can put buckets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I agree with
Becker's is going to be
Beckers.
Paige. She was, because she was there with Caitlin Clark until she had that injury that kind of derailed her, but now she's in the class, or presumably the same class with Miss Juju Watkins. So of course there's other ones. There's a whole class in South Carolina that didn't get a chance to serve because they were overshadowed by the other talent that's there. So it's women's basketball is going to be pretty lit for the next couple of years as they continue to develop and create to continue to curate other people. So there's definitely that. So yeah, it's definitely one of those things going on. But yeah,
shout out to the WNBA for finally cracking that code and packing arenas and stuff now, man. Like, your brand has really taken off. I'm not gonna say it's just been one thing. Early on it was like, hey, Caitlin brought whatever to it, but no, your product has to be solid. Like, I can come see you one time and then go on about my business, but it's been all season long that people have been tuning in. So, hey, shout out to the WNBA for turning the corner in that respect.
But no doubt. So of course, like I say, next week we'll be back, of course, on a Sunday, probably a little earlier, so you can catch the game and figure that stuff out. It's definitely been a thing. Like I said, you should see a little bit our picks up. Talk about that if you want to be coming on to be a guest picker, in which I'm probably going to be reaching out to some people to see if they want to come on and be on the Sunday morning and follow in with us. Just hit me up directly or hit up CC, any one of us, and then we'll get the others will get the word and we'll be able to bring y'all on. So always live and everything like that. Come on, talk a little bit, get a little insight and keep pushing it from there. So y'all get ready for y'all games. Get ready. If you tailgating, if you go into the game, whatever case like that, set your fantasy lineups and get it in. So until then, we'll be checking on y'all. Y'all be seeing this later. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Peace. We out of here.
Have a good one.